Hello everyone. So today I thought I would show how to make these little bobble hats. A bit of backstory. So basically I started making them because for cancer research. So I started volunteering there at the cancer research in Ryde on the Isle of Wight, and there was the manager there is organizing a raffle for Christmas, and she asked me to basically make these little hats to put on top of Kinder Bueno eggs and Ferrero Rocher. So these should fit the Kinder Bueno, and I think she also wanted the chocolate orange one, so that's gonna need to be a bit bigger. So I have one that's fully complete. And I also have these that are sort of ready to be sort of assembled into this form. So I thought I would basically show you from scratch how to get there, teach like the basic stitches, well, some of the basic stitches of crochet, and yeah, hope you enjoy. I'm just going to put it on the stand. Alright, so basically I am going to make another one of these, but I'm going to make it with more red than white. Can you see? Let me just make sure. Yeah, I think that's better. Okay, so I'm going to do the edge first, so I'm going to do the white first. First of all, you need to make a slip knot, so just loop it around your finger, pull it through, you get a slip knot. Tighten it, not too much though, because you want to be able to move it. And then you put your crochet hook. I'm using a 4mm one. You can also use 3.5, I think, for this one. And you just tighten it enough so that it doesn't slip out, but not too tight, because you want to be able to pull the thread through here. First of all, you need to start with the chain stitch. I'm going to bring it closer so you can see. So you put the crochet hook behind, you hold it between two fingers to give it tension. You push it behind and under, hook and yarn through, which is basically pulling it through that knot. So that's one chain stitch. So if it's a bit tight, just give yourself a little bit more slack. It also depends on how thick the wool is. This one is chunky. So my length that I want is about 12 centimeters. So I'm just basically going to keep going with this until I reach roughly that length, and I'll check it against either the tape measure I've got here or the other ones I've done. So you basically just keep going. So I can see I'm not very good at measurements generally, but I can clearly see it's not quite 12 centimeters yet, simply by comparison. Sorry. And something I like about doing this is it's very relaxing. I especially like to do it when I'm feeling a bit anxious or unsettled, just when I feel like I'm going a bit crazy, or my thoughts are racing too much, or emotions are just bubbling too much under the surface, and I feel like I'm going a bit. Usually my go-to is exercise, so I usually go out for a walk when I'm feeling like that. But sometimes my body is just so tired that I can't even make myself exercise. And the last few days I've basically been a slob, and only one day did I actually go for a actually go for a long walk, and that was only because I had to go into town. Hold on, yeah, that's 12 centimeters. That's a bit over 12 centimeters. So at this point what you do is basically you're going back on yourself. So you turn it around and then you slip the crochet the needle into the first chain across, and then you do the yarn through, but you only do through one of your hooks. So you still get two, but you only went through one of them. Then you do that again, but this time you go through both loops, if it will let me, which is not right now. I don't know what's wrong with it. Oh, it's probably because I've got it all tangled up. Hold on, let me untangle it first. So yeah, I was saying that I was kind of a slob the last week or so. I just came to visit my parents, and I've basically done nothing but eat and sleep, and my body has just been like not responsive. It's not even letting me exercise. I'm trying to be patient with myself and not push myself when I'm feeling this tired. And one way, as I was saying, when I'm feeling like very anxious, usually my go-to thing to do is to exercise. But another thing that I've now discovered, I realized what happened. I went too far. Okay, so what happened there is I actually went into the same chain that I was already on. So I need to go one up. That's why it didn't work. So you go one up, you hold the tension, yarn through the first one, and then you go through both. This time, there we go. It lets you go through both. So this is a single crochet. It's a basic crochet stitch. And then basically you keep going with that. Yarn through, pull one, yarn through, pull through both. Oh, sorry, that was me. That was a half double. I've been doing that a lot for something else, and I'm automatically going to that. But for this one, I don't want to do that one. So I keep doing the wrong one because I'm used to doing the other one. Hold on. There. One, two, that's it. So I just need, because I got so used to doing the other one. There we go. So yeah, and this is a very relaxing thing to do when you're feeling anxious, I think. I always find, I think it's because of the sort of repetitive motion. And even because I'm following quite a few videos now on Facebook and Instagram that are showing art stuff, so either painting or embroidery. So I'm seeing a lot of them now and getting lots of ideas from them. And also in general, I just find that watching those videos, there's something about that, it just makes your mind go calm. When you're anxious, and it's not very what's the word, it's not like a high stimulus thing. It's not like watching a movie or playing a video game. It's very much repetitive movements with lots of color, most of the time lots of color, and it's repetitive. And there's something about watching those videos and doing this kind of stuff that just makes your mind really just go quiet. And I think a lot of people have that same experience, and that's why art therapy is so popular. I mean, for me personally, it has helped me so much, especially in the times when, you know, it's difficult to manage my emotions, it's difficult to manage my anxiety, and sort of when I get into that loop of depression and I'm not able to exercise because I'm low on energy as well, or, you know, circumstances, maybe it's too, I mean, I usually don't let the darkness stop me, but if I really want to go exercise, I go. But like I said, circumstances, or maybe you're in the middle of a social circumstance where you can't, or whatever, and doing this just helps. I always think like this part is the most awkward, like it doesn't look or feel that great because you're kind of starting, but once you do get through this bit, it does get easier. And also, you know, I haven't crocheted in a very long time. I think the last time was when I was in school, and my mom basically taught me and my sister how to do it, and for a while we were kind of obsessed with it. I even made some I think it was sunglass cases for my family members using crochet. I even found like remnants of that here when I was going through my old room in my parents' house, and yeah, so I'm sort of still teaching myself the different things, different skills. I still don't know what each stitch is called, and some of that is not even my fault. It's because they're called different things in the US and in the UK. So I'm like, well, what's the point? What is the point in learning what they're called if they're going to be called differently? And that's probably me just being stubborn, and I will probably get to a point where I'll learn it. But right now, I know two of them. One is the single, which is the easy one, which, you know, there's no contest. But then, you know, some of the half treble and the double and the half double, it's a bit crazy. So the one I've been doing, I think, is the half double, the one, I mean, for the other project, but it could also easily be the double. I actually need to look into which one it is. But my point here is not to teach you how to do a perfect crochet. It's about sharing my experiences of how doing stuff like this, crochet and art, painting and embroidery in general, and crafty things. Cooking is another thing that I really enjoy getting into, especially since I haven't had the time to really cook, and I always enjoyed cooking. And now I'm sort of inventing, not inventing, but sort of trying new things and making them vegetarian, which is something I've always done because, again, I'm jumping from topic to topic, I'm sorry. But what I'm trying to say is it's something I've always done for my mom because she turned vegetarian a long time before I did. So she was vegetarian for years, and my sister and I always used to find ways to make usually non-vegetarian things into a vegetarian form. So that was one of the things we did. Like I used to make, I make like things like chicken and mushroom pie, but with corn. I make chicken enchiladas, but again not with chicken, but with other vegetables and corn. Corn is quite good. My mom likes it. I'm not a huge fan, to be honest, but the texture, something about the texture, I'm not a huge fan, but maybe I'll give it another try. And yeah. So what I was saying is, it's about, what I'm trying to do is not teach you how to do a perfect crochet, because there are a lot of people out there who are much better at crochet than I am and are teaching that, you know, very well, and I'm learning from them because I like to improve my skills. But what I'm trying to convey is a way to deal with unhealed trauma, which I believe a lot of us are dealing with, or if we're not dealing with it, we're suppressing it, which is worse. yeah, and I'm just hoping that this will help, and at the end of it you can have cute little things. And obviously it goes without saying you can make this at any size. I actually do want to make a hat for myself, but I don't want to use this up because first of all I only brought little bits of it with me because the manager gave me like the big yarn, like the whole thing, but I didn't want to carry it back and forth, so I left most of it on the Isle of Wight. So I replenish my supplies as I finish. So but yeah, I do want to make a hat for myself at some point, and I have my own yarn that I bought there, so I'm going to use that. So anyway, so for this one I've decided to make it a little bit different to the rest. Although technically I should just make it the same because it's a set of 6. Should I make it the same? Okay, I'm going to make it the same, but the next one I want to do different. So ignore me. So yeah, let me show you how. So now I'm again ready to turn. So I go into the next link here, and then it's the same thing because I'm just doing a single stitch, because the reason I'm doing a single stitch is because all of the rest are single stitches, and I want them to be the same because I basically have an idea of using an egg carton, painting it Christmassy colors, and then we can get the 6 of those Kinder Buenos and put these hats on them, and that would be a very nice raffle thing to include in the raffle, I think. So that's my plan. I was rambling on about something before, but I think I finished that topic. Okay, I've gone actually behind on this one, and I want to go in front because I've done that. I've gone in front for all the rest. So yeah, then one nice thing is you can literally, if you make a mistake or you change your mind like I just did, you can just unravel it, because you just pull on it to unravel, because there are no knots at this point. Only the one at the beginning, that's a knot, but after that there's no knots until you finish or you change wool color, which we will be doing after I finish this set, this second line of white. I'm going to change to red, and I think I'm going to keep it the same. So I'm going to do 2, this is 2 white, and I'm going to do 2 red, because that's the pattern I followed for all the others, and I just want to continue with that. Because like I said, I just want them to be equal. So today's goal is basically to try and get all the bobbles for this one done. For all of these to be finished. So I have a set of 6 to take back with me. And then I might, depending on the time, might do more. Like I don't, today I've just basically driven 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours from Wolverhampton to Hertfordshire today, so I am a bit tired, so I might not do as much as I want to right now, but let's see how it goes.